Hi, this is the Quirky Bird Show on the artsradio.com. And if
we
you
may be live.
or we may not. We might just be in a room amusing ourselves.
Yes. Well, my hands are here, folks.
We are officially live.
We are officially
Okay.
live. We're just going to call today Groundhog's Day, just for the heck of it. But we are talking today about improv comedy, and I have an improv comedian. He's so. No, he's one of the best in Tampa Bay,
Thank you.
and his name is Daryl Knapp. Hello,
Yes.
Daryl. How are you?
Robin, good. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty
Wonderful.
good.
Wonderful to hear.
As I described one time, not 3 minutes ago, but I always want to have intro music to my quirky question of the day, which
Okay.
is a question that I pose at the beginning of every show, kind of chum the waters, kind of have people put on their thinking caps about
Not Chumbawamba, though.
not
Because you
Chumbawamba.
don't get knocked down.
But if she does, she gets back up again.
hmm You know the rest of the song. You three people.
People-
Mom and the two uncles,
Yeah.
I believe.
Okay, so we are talking about improvisational comedy, and my
Mhm.
quirky question of the day. It's the quirky question of the day.
Do ba da.
Oh, thank you.
Question.
Thank you guys in the booth. That was awesome. That's brand new, you know.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So since we're talking about improvisational comedy, what do you think is a stronger comedic skill to have? Improvisational comedy or writing?
I'm going to
skills?
change my answer from before. No, I think improvisation, blah, blah, blah. Improvisational skills are better because it can lead to good writing. You know, you can flesh out ideas and whatnot.
Did you know that's what Second City does?
Oh, my. I'm learning, folks. Yes, there's an awesome VHS documentary I saw. Yes, it's on VHS. Maybe it's on DVD now.
I
don't
saw
know.
it on VHS.
It was
actually.
great with Tina Fey with a big booty.
She had a big booty.
I was like, somebody had worked on Secret. Shh.
She was actually. She's prettier now. I mean, I know that has nothing to do with comedy.
She was a dog.
No, but usually, like
Wow.
when you see people from 20 years ago, you're like, oh,
Yeah. Hi,
yeah,
everybody.
they lost their
Mm,
looks. But she,
mm, mm.
I got the tire.
Yes,
but
yes.
she's actually more svelte and
Yes, every time I talk about that DVD, I go, you got to see Tina Fey in that because something happened to her. She didn't have glasses on. She had like a
yeah. I guess it's
bigger
money. I
booty.
think that's what they call it, money.
Maybe. It's always funny. Like I watch a sitcom, like the first year, the actors are like kind of not in shape or whatever, uglier. And then like the second year, as it goes on, you can see that they've hired a personal trainer and, you know, wow, now they're, you know.
Yeah, now they look Hollywood.
Yes.
Also, one of the guys from 30 Rock in there, he's gotten balder. He had kind of longer hair, but he's bald now. He's one of the guys from 30 Rock. But yes, what they do
Never seen
is they do crazy improv
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, and then what comes out of it, they write that down, and that becomes a skit. So
Right.
it goes from
Or-
improv to skit.
Right. Or they get an opening line like Mick Napier, big wig in improv. Look it up, people. He gives them an opening line and they do like 45 minutes of scenes just based on that one line.
Just on the one line.
Yeah. And it's, you know, see how it goes or whatever.
Wow. So what could one of the lines be?
It's time to take out the garbage. I think that may even be from the video. And like see what
Oh.
happens, like what reaction, somebody reacting off of that or whatever, you know, having like a big emotional reaction or.
And so they just do 45 minutes of where take out.
According to that tape. Now, I don't know if it's lying. If it's on a tape, it's got to be real. So.
If it's on VHS. Okay. Well, as promised, I always tell the folks if they
Chime in, I believe was your word.
yeah. If they chime in, I give them a shout out. So a mutual friend of ours, Charlotte Cakes Langley, she answered the quirky question of the day. And she said both. She thinks that improv is good writing. It's just writing in the head. What you?
She doesn't know it. No, she's both an improviser and stand up.
And
She does
stand-up.
both. So
I thought that was really interesting because I was thinking it was more of a juxtaposition because like when I write comedy, I'm kind of like just writing it or I think about it and then I write it down. And then when I go to sit down, I like take out my notebook and I'm like, oh, what are these notes? And it seems like improv, especially in stand up, you know, it's just you're on stage and maybe
Mhm.
someone's giving you a hard time, or you're just responding to
Right. I
someone.
think that's how most probably stand-ups relate it to, is being heckled. But
Yes, they do. But she's right. It kind of is writing. It's just mental writing. If you
right.
will.
I mean, in fact, I've done it a couple of times, but this Thursday, I'm gonna do some improvised stand-up where I'm just
Oh.
gonna get like a suggestion and riff off of that.
Wow. Now,
And
where are you doing that at?
Beautiful Bartow, Florida, at the a place called The Venue.
The venue.
Yeah, not the one in Clearwater, not associated. Believe me. That's with my in one of my improv groups. I'm in 4 improv addicts. Like us on Facebook.
You are, and like I say, we're going to get to your.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
your-
I'm an improviser. I jump all over the place.
we must get to the quirky question
Yes.
of the day.
Okay. Sorry. I'll be
Okay.
quiet for
Oh no.
9 minutes.
Actually, everyone. I don't know if you know JT Burns. He kind of said the same thing. Both are good.
Mm-hmm.
Karen Fitzgerald. She's also a lady stand-up. She thought her her first thoughts were improv skills. You can write the stuff down that you come up with. That's what you're
Right.
saying. Now, Michael Fried's, his is a little long, so I'm just going to read it. I feel writing is a great improv that you save for later. I don't tend to edit my jokes, but after I get them written, blah, blah, blah. But what he's saying is the best comedians roll with the hecklers just on the fly. I definitely vote for improv being a little more important. So, but I think you can't just be a writer. You just can't be like a writer and go on stage and be like, ha, 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 ha. I think, you
Well,
know.
I mean, a lot of writers for like Conan O'Brien, name dropping, they're in other TV shows or whatever. They're improvisers, or they're from improv background, UCB or whatever, which is Upright Citizens Brigade in New York and Chicago and LA.
That's where Amy Poehler.
Yep. All them.
Yeah. Krishna Reddy, he is of Indian descent.
Thank you for clarifying. That wasn't an Indian accent, but anyway, it just kind of slid into
Sorry,
it.
Krishna, I don't know why I put that. Both have their markets, and they are very successful comedians who do either one and other very well. Personally, I think improv can be great because it makes every show unique and special, whereas a good writing skill is marketable. And that's what I wanted to ask you, too, because every improv show, because what you do is very different, but every improv show is a little bit.
I would
Are
say
a lot
every improv
different.
show is totally different. Like, people always ask me if I get nervous for improv, and I can't, because I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what
you're
suggestion I'm
preparing
going to
for.
get.
Yeah.
I mean, there has been like sometimes where we've done like sketches in a show, or I've done stand up where I've been nervous because, the joke about the guy on the plane, I hope it works.
Yeah.
It didn't work last time. Only 2 people laughed instead of 5. So
That
with
is
improv,
true.
I'm never nervous.
Or sometimes you can be like, something happened in the world and now it made this situation not funny. That happens too.
Yeah. I won't say the first thing I thought of when after September 11th, we were doing something and I was like, looked like I was falling off a building, and that's the first thing that came to my mind. I went there, and that was in a rehearsal in Orlando, so it was okay. But
So don't send the hate mail.
yeah, I mean, everybody says too soon with everything now. I mean, the Hindenburg, too soon. It's been, 102 years.
How dare you make a Nazi joke?
Yeah.
And my very last person, Long Island Mary, my good friend, she said, strong comedic skills. Ultimately, the razor sharp wit is your tool. So for all those who did the quirky question of the day, thank you. And
Thank you.
I'll give you a shout out. And here's our outro music. You just answered the quirky question of the day. Do, do, do.
Tune in next week for the question. Oh, yeah.
Boop, boop, boop. Okay. So,
Wow, yeah. Who needs keyboards?
okay. So it's all about you. How long have you been doing improv?
I would say like 18 years, probably.
18 years.
Yeah. Early 90s. Yeah.
What did you start out like doing theater? Or?
No, I actually got the old thing because, hey, you're a funny guy. You should do comedy. And one day I said, hey, maybe I will.
Really,
So
I don't find you too funny. I think you're very
Whatever.
cerebral.
Whatever over here. Rah, rah. Put me on a show. I took a class with McGurdy's, actually, like a stand-up class.
Oh,
before I got
McCurdy's?
into. Yeah, sorry, did I pronounce it wrong? Oh my
Threw a
god, I
G
hope they're
in
not
there.
listening. I don't know. I don't know the guy. They had like a $5 class for some donation thing, so I took that. And the next night they were doing an improv class. I was like, improv, what's that? And then I started doing stand-up at Key West Comedy Club in Ybor, which is now some motorcycle club next to Elmer's or whatever. And they were forming an improv group there, and that's basically where I fell into it.
Okay.
A group we call Beat the Dead Horse that lasted a little over a year.
Okay.
And we did like our first show. We used to open up for, they used to have South Park when it was big and people would gather to watch it. That's
I
where,
remember
we got our
that.
break or whatever, if you will. We used to do like half an hour or 20 minutes before that. And then we started breaking out on our own or whatever. And we were doing Brass Mug. Yeah. The good gigs, baby. The high paying one.
I played the brass mug.
Yeah, and then we did, what was that place? The Mother's Milk Coffee House on Alternate 19 there. That's now like a tile store. And then we became the Charming Hooligans, and we were doing there. And then we blew up. We were doing Cinema Cafe over on Sunset Point, Clearwater.
Uh-huh.
And we were there for, 7-8 years, blowing up.
Now, to me, that's the distinct difference between improv and stand-up. Improv is definitely a team sport. You can't
Yeah,
just
that's what
improv.
I love about improv, too. I was saying about stand-up before. It's like I have my whole team, my whole crew to support me. So if I have a bad night, they have a great night. Show's great overall. But stand-up, it's just you. You know, it's like I said about the joke about the plane, may not get over. But if I'm doing something about a plane in an improv scene, may not be as funny. But I've got 4 or 5 other people or more to back me up, and they'll have my back. Improv's all about making your partner look good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. It's like, because I'm a sports fan, go Rays. Oh, can I say that? I don't know. And, you know, it's like a sports and it's comedy combined. So what's not to love?
But doesn't it ever, and I don't know, maybe this is just the comic nerd in me or the writer in me, don't you ever have just shows where it's just drop dead funny, but you know, you can kind of never do that again, because where else would you get a scene where, you know, you steal a pork chop and I'm the old Korean lady who runs after you? You know what I mean?
There's so many of those scenes. No, I mean, it's always different. So if you get say your suggestion is pork chop, one night it might be a scene with an old Asian lady. Next one it might be, a Korean lady. See the difference? Or a Cantonese lady. It's totally different. Or it's depend. If you're in a scene with somebody different, they might give you a different offer than the Asian lady. They might be, they're a dog lover, and it's one of those squeaky toy pork chop things, which you can get at.
But I guess my point is, like, with stand up, like, once you get like a certain bit, like I've got a couple bits that I just love, and they go so well, and I add to them, and I'm just like, I can't wait to do my Aldi's bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of don't have that, and maybe that's.
Me personally, I never go into a scene. I would say 98% of the time, or I don't know percentage on it. Sorry,
I've got some stat machines here.
I don't go in with any set thing on my mind. In fact, when I do like a longer form, which is like where you get one suggestion, do like 20 to 45 minutes based off of that one suggestion. I may just go up because a scene ended, it was funny or whatever. It's a good point to end it, edit the scene. And I'll just go up, not have anything on my mind, just start pulling something out of a cabinet or whatever, wait for somebody to come on and watch the magic transform.
That was magic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you talked a little bit about short form and long form improv. What are the difference between the
I'm
two?
not going to tell anybody. No, I'm just kidding. Short form is best known as like Whose Line Is It Anyway, where it's like you get something from the audience and you do a little short game, maybe 2 to 3 4-minute game, and that do another game where you have the games to fall back on, where like you have like the audience member making sound effects. So obviously it's funny, they come up, or they're moving your body or whatever. Or like you ring a bell and changes something in the scene.
You can ring the bell if you want.
I don't want to. I don't want to blow the speakers in here. So there's just many games. I mean, there's thousands of short form games. And then like there's also a thing kind of I would call mid form, which is kind of like what I said. You get one suggestion, maybe do 10, 15, 20 minutes on it. And it generally could just be scene after scene after scene. It doesn't tie together like at the end. Like if you start with a pork chop, you would end with pork chop or whatever.
So I guess you want it to be, I don't know if you want to call it a callback or like a thread. What do you like, a narrative thread that leads through?
Either or,
Yeah.
callback or thread. Yeah. And then there's long form, which is, like I said, one suggestion, do like 45 minutes. That's where like Improv Olympic or UCB, like we mentioned, Chicago style, they call it, New York style, does that.
Okay. Now, when I first met you, you were working with the
17 years old. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
I said, "Hey, fella, can you help me with my groceries?"
The rest is history. She's got 2 kids. No, just kidding. Sorry, Mom, and 2 uncles. Callback.
Hey, callback. Narrative thread. It just
doesn't necessarily mean it's funny, but it's a callback. All right. You first met me. I was working at a bank. Is that what you were saying?
No.
Oh.
Bay Area Improv Theater.
Right. Bait. Yes.
Okay. And you guys were long form, and you were also like family clean.
I don't know if we were totally family clean. We were like short form. We did we did a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess we just didn't find an audience for it, which is hard for mid form or long form to get an audience, because people love the short form, the who's line, the chuck, laugh every 30 seconds or a minute or something like that. Whereas long form, it could be more dramatic a lot of times, sometimes.
I was going to say, it just depends on who was in the scene and where it took. But it did seem like it was always fun to watch, because you never knew, especially if someone did come up with something like pork chop, and then it got sort of serious, and you're like, how are they going to put
like
pork chop
you're
back
homeless
in there?
person, and that pork chop could feed your family or whatever. Shout out to the homeless people. Yeah, I mean, I saw Miami Improv Festival, which they had a couple of years ago. There was 2 guys. They did a 45-minute long scene in a coffee shop, and it was just so captivating. It was like funny. It was, it had all emotional range and whatever. I just couldn't stop watching it.
Okay. We actually have a guest on the line. As promised, I had 2 guests calling, and I believe our first guest is Crystal.
Hi.
Hey, Crystal. Now, Crystal, am I saying your
Hello.
name right?
Don't even bother. Crystal H.
Crystal H is on the line. And
It's like Lambeau Field, but with a Hera in front of it. So Hera Lambeau.
oh, Hera Lambeau.
Greek.
Now, you also are Crystal Hera Lambeau. You are also an improv person, and I don't know if you've been hearing Daryl and I talk. I worked with you also when I used to open up for Bait every once in a while doing my stand up. How long have you been in doing improv?
As long as me?
I want to say since '99. So I was really terrified of it coming out of college, the idea of working without a script, and I kind of ran in the face of that fear. So it's been some time, but I feel like very much a learner still.
Crystal's a great teacher. She teaches improv like at Ruth Eckert. Am I allowed to say that? And at the Box in Ybor, where Dear Aunt Gertrude, which is another group that she and I are in, along with others, perform.
Okay.
This Friday night. We do, but
so
like us on Facebook.
Yeah, this Friday.
Oh, no. You just jump right in. How did you start out in comedy? I mean, because Daryl was saying he kind of started out like wanting to do stand-up, and then he sort of fell in love, I guess, with improv. How did you start out?
Thanks for asking. Actually, I've always been interested in theater, and so what drew me in was the idea of characters and relationships and the spontaneity of it all. A friend of mine said to me real early on that improv requires faith, and you just kind of have to step out and trust that it'll be there, and that just resonated with my own kind of values and belief system of my life. And so I just felt like so many of the things I was learning about improv really echoed life in general. And I found it completely scary and completely thrilling at the same time. So I think that's what drew me in. It wasn't even really comedy. It was just this idea of working with an amazing ensemble of people, this community of friends, and then and kind of going from there, just saying really what makes us valuable is each other. So I think that was the thing that was really appealing at first. And then as I continued to learn it, I realized it's more of a poor man's theater because you don't need sets and you don't need props and costumes and all that. You just need each other. So,
and that's why I had Crystal on, because she can speak very well.
Well, Daryl and I had talked about that earlier, because stand-up it's sort of like the theater equivalent of like swimming. Like you can be on a swim team, but you're ultimately like in the water by yourself. But I mean, you guys are like a basketball. Like, I'm using analogies here. You guys are more like a basketball or a football team. I mean, you have to have some sort of ebb and flow or some sort of like personal relationship to.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know each other and get along. I mean, that's why we rehearse. People always get like flustered by, bro, you rehearse improv? I thought it was improvised. Bruh, bruh, bruh. I mean, you have to improvise, practice like the games, that if you're going to do short form or the long form, what type of long form, because there's different types of long form, which we'll say that for next week. But now I lost my thought. But the camaraderie and getting to know each other.
I agree. I agree with Daryl. Just that you're building chemistry in those rehearsals.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Well, so Crystal, which do you prefer, like the long form or the short form, as far as the? Oh, did they open up a Pandora's box?
No. Yeah, what do you prefer, Crystal? What do you prefer?
You know what? I've always, for a long time, I preferred short form, but I think just as I get older, there's something really creative that happens with long form that it feels very like miraculous at times. You're like, whoa, that really worked, and we were really connected, or you feel it when it works, and it feels great. So I think lately, if the truthfulness that's involved in long form is what is attractive to me, and so I don't know, it's neat to be on that journey together. I think to find it, and so that's the one I prefer. But I think that there's something with stand-up. I obviously see, whenever I talk about the contrast of that with improv, I often refer to the audience as the scene partner, because the audience, even in improv, you're constantly looking to see who your audience is and how they're receiving that information,
That is true. And on both of them, you kind of break the fourth wall.
Certain things, like you can do a joke that would work in Alabama, but in New York, or vice versa, or whatever.
Yes.
That's my 2 cents on that statement. Didn't say it was good or anything, but Robin liked it.
Yeah, Crystal, how did you?
Daryl has you laughing. I love it.
Sorry, a little bit. Just a little bit.
He always has me laughing. Now, how did you get into teaching improv?
Yeah.
I think that just teaching goes along with any art form. Like, you're always learning, so you should always be imparting that knowledge. And I think that sometimes when I see a fresh perspective, like even a student that's never done improv approach it, there's something for me to learn from that as well. But I always just feel special that I get to teach it, because I see like people come together and build friendships that they didn't have, and they're all coming from diverse backgrounds, and it's just neat. It's really cool. It's like some way to find common ground with people. And I think as a teacher, it's just, like I said earlier, really infused with what I believe kind of in life, that you should be saying yes, and that you should be finding the relationships in your life should be the thing that you're focusing on. And all these truths from improv really do kind of echo life. So it's become a way of life and a way of really imparting that to others. So I've felt pretty lucky. I mean, being a Florida girl, getting to see a couple of different teachers, in the past that have had a reputation for being pretty awesome. And I think that just getting to watch them and observe them, I love being the person, or one of the many people that get to bring that down to Florida, where we don't have maybe the same population of improvisers as somewhere, say, like Chicago or New York.
And Crystal teaches like from youth to adults.
I was just
like,
gonna
she
ask
has
that.
teen classes that are going on now at the box.
Oh yeah, plug anything you want.
Yeah,
to,
what's the website? Crystal?
Thanks, Daryl.
Oh wait, I
Yeah,
thought
we
you
have
had
we
it.
have an adult class going on right now, but in the fall we'll be offering each level, and then again for adults. And right now we're running an improv camp for kids this week and next week, so we still have some slots open for that, and I'll just leave it at that. But I do want to say Upright Citizens Brigade is coming in August for a workshop on August 20th, so if anyone's interested in that, they should totally check it out.
And Crystal's classes are at box.tampaunderground.com. Go look that up. That's box, B-O-X dot Tampa Underground. Tampa Underground, one word.com. Crystal H.
Crystal H, and I already forgot how to pronounce your name.
Yeah, forget it. It's like Lambo.
That's
okay.
With
No
we only have an hour show.
Now, you were saying something when you were talking about the concept of improv. You should always say yes, because that's an improv rule. It's always yes and. So if you're watching improv and someone's like, hey, do you want my pork chop? And they say no, they're not doing it right.
What
correct?
are you having for dinner tonight? Are you having pork chops, or did you just make? I just want pork chop, Pop.
I know. I noticed a little bit that I've heard. It was all about pork chops.
Yeah. We have them here in
the
studio,
homeless, which
everybody.
is
Come
awesome.
on down and get
It's
your
like
free pork
Oprah.
chop.
Pork
Yeah.
chops for everyone.
Reach
Look
under your
seat.
seats. Yeah.
Yeah, I think yes and is a huge principle, and I normally refer to it as a value of improv because we always say there's no rules of improv. But just like anything else, whatever rules exist, you often learn how, like after you've respected the craft and learned it to an extent, I think you find ways to bend and break those rules because art is always going against the flow. It's always finding innovative ways to keep retelling stories. And so I think that, while that yes and is a huge principle and it should always be a core value of any team that's pursuing improvisation, I also feel like that there are times where we find a game and a scene and it breaks that. So I really only think that should happen when somebody's taken the time to learn the craft. Like I wouldn't just pick up the violin and all of a sudden call myself a violinist if I've never studied it. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But maybe all educators feel that way to some extent.
No, I love what you said about you have to respect the craft and then you can break the rules, because it's almost like you have to know it, you have to love it, and then you can sort of make it your own. That's beautiful. That's some Oprah shit, if you don't mind me saying it.
Oh.
That's beautiful.
Well, thanks. No, I recently heard of Baryshnikov going back to a beginning ballet class, and I just thought, man, that just beckons my respect for him, because he knows there's something about that beginner perspective. There's something about being back at the bar and doing those repetitions over and over again. And I think for even with basketball, that idea, you still keep shooting hoops and such. And I think that even with our team, we've had a great run these last 4 summers together, and all 4 years, I should say. But we still go back to the basics. Sometimes we'll just take a night and focus on one of those really simple rules of them, or simple values, of improv, and just really hone in on it again and remind ourselves, we're just going to yes and tonight, or we're just going to focus on relationships, or just focus on inventing new characters, or whatever that principle is. We will go back to it and just kind of surround ourselves with all of the thoughts and the things that we've learned about that one core principle, just to remind us. So
now, just remind me, because I know Daryl's Mr. Improv guy. Which comedy troupe, or not comedy troupe, which improv troupe are you talking about on this particular one? Oh, Dear Aunt Gertrude.
Yes, Daryl is a connoisseur of teams in this area, and we feel lucky to have him. Dear Aunt Gertrude is what I'm referring to.
Right.
Where we started out very much short form, and in the last 2 years, I think, we've morphed over into some long form. So we do both now. We do a short form set. For the summer, we're doing one at 8 o'clock that's around the theme of the Olympics. And then at 9:30, we do a long form called The List, and it's based on those quirky ads you find on Craigslist.
Oh,
or
that's
it's inspired
hilarious.
by, I should say. But, Dear Aunt Gertrude is the team, and we just felt like that was an appropriate name, because we kind of started out with the idea of a family theme, and truly that's what Gertrude has become. It's just become a family. And it's just an incredible group of people.
You know, it's funny because when I first got, I can't remember, I guess it was Facebook. I guess MySpace is too old. I saw Daryl and Gertrude. I was like, what is this? And then I saw Daryl was attached to it. And I'm like, oh,
I better
friend.
like it.
Yeah.
Just like you, citizens of America.
But you guys have been around a while. So
Yeah, this is our fourth summer together, like she said, so 4 years. And yeah, we have shows 8 p.m. July 13th, 20th, and 27th at the Box Theater, 1300 East 7th Avenue, Tampa, 33605. I'm just reading that off a card.
That's if it's 7th Avenue. That's right
there
Crazy
in front of the
Ebor.
Spaghetti Warehouse, right where the trolley station is. It's
and
in the
you
good
can call
neighborhood.
813-400-0269 if you want tickets, or email box@tampaunderground.com.
There you go. And you can see those. No, it's probably not.
But
on
we're
the
also
bottom
going
of
to
the
be at
screen.
American Stage on August 19th for the late night comedy series there.
Right.
We'll be doing our long form show
That's
over
a
there.
Sunday night. Yeah.
So they're a great group of people that really support improv, and we're excited about the culture that they're, just really kind of inspiring over even on this side of the bay. So.
And we also have shows at 9:30 for the next 3 Fridays, the 13th, 20th, and 27th.
Now, do you guys have like seasons? Do you ever take time off, or do you just constantly doing the improv?
Crystal?
We do perform seasonally.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, because about half of our players are full-time actors, and half of them are, just every day
Full-time
kind of out there
improvisers.
working. And, so we rehearse. At first we didn't do this, but in the last 2 years, we've been rehearsing all year.
Yeah, every week.
So we try to commit to meeting once a week at least, and then when we're in show season, then we do our rehearsal, and then we do our show also. So it's kind of special. We get to see each other, twice a week or whatever. And I wish more, but that's kind of what it is right now. And so when somebody has an idea for a show that's familiar enough that they can actually pitch that idea to each of the other members, and we may play with it, we may experiment with it for a little bit, but then at some point we'll decide, yes, let's just try this and see if we can build a show around it. So
Now it's interesting you say that you have actors there, because I've taken improv classes, and I often say as a stand-up that I find improv to be all these sports analogies to be like working out on weights. Like improv is not what I want to do. Like I don't want to be a professional bodybuilder, but anytime you want to work out on weights, that's always going to help. If you want to swim, or if you want to tap dance or whatever.
I mean, improv makes you just
It
a
does.
better person. Just generally talking to
that's great.
people and just conveying. Like if you're shy, it's great to get out of that shell.
But
I mean,
even
I used to be
guess
a shy kid. Even
Oh, I was going to say, if she said there's actors, and you said half of it was actors.
yeah, a lot of them are actors or whatever.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes you a better actor, because you can come up with a monologue off the top of your head, or better stand up.
But I was thinking more with actors, because there's like that fourth wall with acting where, you know what I mean? But I guess things could always go wrong in a play. I mean.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said about a monologue, they may say, do a monologue about carrot sticks. I should have said pork chop. Sorry, I didn't.
Now you've ruined it.
Somebody else is calling in.
I think I think improvisation comes into it several times, because oftentimes a director will say, if you're doing a stage play, they'll often say, all right, now improvise the scene in your own words, so that you can really connect with the character or the actual dynamic that's going on in the scene. But in TV and film, all the time, there's always casting directors saying, "We've heard these lines 1,000 times today. Now do something new for us." And so you're having to come up with it on the spot. You're having to connect with people on the spot. You have to relax your body, thinking about your voice and your physicality. And those are all tools that you have to use instantaneously. And I think improv really promotes that. But like Daryl was saying, it also, I have so many people that come into class that are just like, I want to be better at public speaking, or I want to be better at meeting people at parties, or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
and like I said, because it really echoes life,
it's
true. It just helps in every way.
It does. Well, I'll tell you what, Crystal, thank you so much. I believe we have Christine on the
other line.
Okay, I think we have Christine on the other line. But thank you. Please plug away anything that you want to plug, your classes, your shows, anything you want to plug away.
Crystal?
Yeah, no, thank you for letting me be on it. It's great, and I say keep going. It's awesome.
It shows this Friday, the 13th, the 20th, 27th of July at the Box Theater, 1300 East 7th Avenue, Dear Aunt Gertrude, 3 words, and classes you can look at box.tampaunderground.com.
I didn't think that your name was
I don't
Crystal.
know if that worked. I heard a beat. I heard a beat coming.
Okay.
I heard a...
Thanks, Robin. I appreciate it.
Oh,
See you Friday.
Yeah, and I might try to make it out to one of the Aunt Gertrude
That
shows.
means she won't. We all know that. Right, Mom and 2 uncles?
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. I have a gun under the table. No, I don't. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
You bet. Bye. Good night.
Good night. Go. Hang up.
No. Okay, I didn't mean to push her off, but we
That's all right.
have 2 very special guests, and I believe we're trying to get Christine
He's
Alexandra.
Pointing or something.
Christine Alexandra online. Christine, you there? No. So
By the way, I'm in 2 groups in Sarasota. One is FST, that's Florida Studio Theater, and they have an improv festival coming up here next weekend, which is the 20th and 21st, Friday and Saturday. Many good groups there. You can go to floridastudio.org. Boy, people, I hope you brought a pen and a paper because I'm giving websites left and right. We have some great groups there. I've got like Improv Boston, which is one of the greatest groups I've ever seen in my life. Every time I've seen them, great. Available cup holders from Austin, Texas, who are phenomenal as well.
the name of the
holding
group
up
is
something.
is Cup Holders.
Available cup holders, yes.
Okay. You know what?
Or maybe Christine will talk more about that.
We have our second call-in guest, Christine Alexander. She's calling all the way from Sarasota, Florida. How are you doing, Christine?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Oh,
Good. Calling from Sarasota. Oh my God. It's like long distance.
I flew in.
Yeah,
Totally
fine,
just
Mom,
for
it's
this.
okay.
Hi.
You can find Christine at
You guys are so
ChristineAlexander.net,
great.
right? .net.
now, Christine.
More websites.
Yes. .com is not funny.
I know it's a painter, but we don't have enough time to go that.
There's
Somebody
only
sell furniture, something like that. I know she told me. Anywhoski.
now you are in the
Anywho.
Lazy Ferry troupe in Sarasota,
And
correct?
Florida Studio Theater.
And Florida State. Oh, you're
That's
like
where
this
we
guy.
met. She's only in 2 groups.
Yes.
Loser.
I'm only in 2. Daryl is our granddaddy, copy of improv troops. Yes, I started at Florida Studio Theater in 2001, and then in 2008, a few of us wanted to play a little bit more, so we got the blessing of Rebecca Hopkins at FST, and we did a little spin-off called Lazy Fairy Improv. And both troops are totally fun.
Okay, so they're both
Yeah.
a part of the Florida studio?
No.
No.
No, they're separate.
Okay, but
They're separate.
But they
Yeah.
There's
equally
love.
love each other.
okay, there's
Meaning-
love amongst
There's
there.
always love in improv.
Yeah, stand up too.
Except
Yeah,
in
there's
Orlando
not.
this week. Whoops. No. Just kidding.
Now, Christine, how did you get your start in improv as well?
Yes.
Well, let me say, Crystal has the words, okay? She used them all. She has the fancy words, and I do not have those fancy words. So I love Crystal, and I agree with everything that she said.
Yes.
But I got my start just by going to a class at Florida Studio Theater. It was the first improv class at the theater, and I happened to see the advertisement, and I went, and that was it.
It's all about seeing advertisements, people. Read those
I saw an
newspapers.
advertisement.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking, I've always wanted to be an actress, and, I didn't have the guts to go to, like, a real place to become an actress. So I found a little ad, and that's where I went. And again, with what Crystal said, the no scripts part was, like, prime for me. I didn't like to memorize, so.
Hence our name, Lazy
Fantastic.
Fairy. Just show up
Exactly.
and walk in, get our $50 and did I say $50? Whoops, too soon.
$50. That's what we split.
I was
Yes,
gonna
yes,
say-
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say that's like what headliners get paid instead. What are you doing talking this crazy money? Now, Christine, you and I have a mutual friend. You know Zan. I'm not gonna say her last name because it's worse than Crystal's
Zan
last
A.
name.
Let's go with Zan A.
We'll go with Zan A. And you guys have like a little, like, I guess, entertainment production company.
Yes.
Yes, it's a production company.
Too
I
bad
love
we don't
Van.
have enough
In fact,
time to
I was
talk
just looking
about
at
it,
a picture of
Christine.
her on
Oh,
Facebook.
sorry.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's called Back Patio Productions, and when she was in town, we were filming some children's videos, like music videos with sign language.
Oh,
And
wow.
we posted one. It's up for viewing. It's the Veggie song, and we were commissioned to do that by one of the actually improv troupe members at FST. That's in the senior troupe. There's a troupe there called Vintage Wine. So we all love each other. You know, we hire each other for stuff.
And Vintage Wine will be performing at the Improv Festival next week, FloridaStudioTheater.org. That's theater, R-E, not E-R. Don't go there. .org. Org.
Daryl, you're
Watch it.
you're a good radio host, Daryl.
Wow, thank you.
He's
So-
like pushing the button, and you get the cue. Blah 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 blah. blah.
He is. You just pull the string and he just goes and goes and goes. That's our Daryl.
That's what the
He
ladies
does.
say. No, not like you thought.
He can
Mom
make his
and
nose
kids.
He can make his nose disappear.
We don't
too.
have enough
Man
time.
Is
We got
amazing.
like 15 more minutes or whatever. Maybe. I don't even know. I don't know what's going on in here.
You're never supposed to look at that clock,
I'm not.
Daryl.
Whoops. I'm an improviser. Oh, God. Sorry. We got plenty of time.
She
We got
can't
all
stop
night.
laughing.
I know. I'm not even that funny. I'm not wearing pants.
No, yes, you are.
There's nothing below this table. Nobody can see.
It's like the news anchors.
Yeah.
They're all not wearing pants. No, but yeah, there. Like I was saying, there's kind of a juxtaposition between the stand up and the improv, and so did you and Zan? Did she do most of the stand? Well, I guess if it was a project where you're doing, that was more of a scripted probably project. You're
Yeah.
talking about the veggie song.
But it's funny that you mention us that way, because we do collaborate on stuff. Like, we'll just sit and we talk about what's funny, and she'll run her jokes by me or something, and it is a totally different beast. And
Mhm.
you have to write your jokes, memorize your jokes, tell them in the same way each time, or and that just doesn't flow out of me as easily. And I think I was just talking about this the other night, that the thing that I love the most about improv is that you have your buddies on stage to catch you when you fall, and you're creating a story in front of somebody's eyes rather than getting up and like telling people stuff.
See,
Kind of like talking to them.
Mhm.
So I kind of like it better to with my buddies.
no, that's.
But I totally respect stand up for sure.
Oh,
I did it once and I was like, oh no, wow, this feels
There's a
naked.
video of it too.
But that's what I was kind of trying to talk with Daryl about that. See, and it's all a matter of perspective, and I find that very interesting what you said, because to me, if something really funny happened on stage and I know I can never duplicate it, it's sort of like, to me, saying like you get a Christmas present but you can't play with it. Like you get and it just, but to me, it seems like that's sort of what you guys like. Like we just want a bunch of Christmas presents, but we get new ones every time. We just aren't allowed to keep them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally, it makes
Sure,
sense.
she's the
because
host, so yes.
the weird thing about it is I like to film our performances, but theater never. Well, the way I film it, 'cause it's on a little iPod or something, it just doesn't translate the same on film when you're watching it live. So I feel like each audience is so lucky to get, that little piece of Christmas that you can't touch ever again, but it's still with them in their head.
Oh, it is. I guess as a performer, I'm just thinking like, oh, that huge laugh, I can make it happen again and again. It's sort of like crack, but you can make
Yeah.
a huge laugh happen. You're just doing it a different way.
Different
You're
way.
just getting it.
Differently. Yeah. I get it. I totally understand both laughters. I want both of them.
Now, Daryl was talking about an improv
Festival.
I was going to say
Everybody loves
collaboration.
festivals.
What does that entail? Is that just a bunch of improv people doing their thing? Is it a competition? Is it?
It's not a competition.
Oh,
just
it's really
different
great.
groups. Yeah, it's just
Yeah, no, luckily it's not a competition.
yeah. Tell us
Because,
more.
improv just doesn't. Go ahead, Daryl, yes.
No, you.
Well, it seems like maybe improv.
Sorry,
a
I
little
can't,
too.
my phone,
Oh, watch your language is messing up.
Oh no, this isn't FCC regulated.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm looking at the clock. I'm not supposed to do this. Not wearing
You're
pants.
so funny, Daryl.
Thank
Yes,
you.
the Improv Festival is July 20th and 21st. And I think I heard Daryl say earlier that it's just a bunch of troops from all different places, Miami, Boston, Atlanta, Chicago, Austin, Texas, Orlando, Tampa. And they all just come in.
Minnesota.
The theater treats them like kings.
Mhm.
And then they treat, make us all laugh, and then they leave.
Yeah, the people.
So
At,
it's really great because there's 3 opportunities. Go ahead, Daryl.
I was just going to say the people at FST. I mean, I've heard from other groups. Like I know like people in these other groups before I even was involved with FST, and they say it's like one of the best run festivals. And I mean, that's like a high compliment because there's improv festivals where there's like no audience, and we sell out like everyone.
Wow.
Last year it was so big that we had to move it into a bigger theater, and that even sold out. You
Well-
know, like on an hour notice.
Mhm.
Oh, come on. Turn your phone off, people.
does like
Yeah.
all the improv troops, do they just do their show?
Yeah, they do like a 45-minute long set.
Okay. So,
Yep.
I mean, do people just come and go, or do they stay for the
A
whole
little
like
bit of
9
both.
yards?
Some people you can get a pass for, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have that in front of me.
Oh, you came with all your notes.
I have that in front of me. I'm prepared.
Who's awesome?
I have
Christine
it's
Alexander.
I have the weekend passes.
.net.
What's that?
ChristineAlexander.net. Org. What is it?
I know, sorry. No, done it. Okay,
Yes,
sorry.
sure.
My phone is, I don't know. Weekend passes are $49.
Yes.
And that means you can get there, sit down, and stay in the theater and watch the troops just rotate in front of your eyes.
Oh,
Same thing with a nightly pass. You
okay.
can get it for just the Friday night or just the Saturday night. And if you get the whole nightly pass, then you can just sit there. But if you don't have that time or you don't want to spend the money or whatever, it's not very expensive, there's single show tickets. Now, with single show tickets, you have to, say you get, the 2 shows back to back, you actually have to leave the theater after you walk and come back in and find another seat because
It's all about
it's
exercise.
preferential to the, the weekend passes and,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So I
It's
just
like
wanted
when
to
you
let
have
people
to
know that it's
deboard
so-
the plane.
Yeah.
beneficial to get the weekend passes and the nightly passes,
I do have to.
which
I
are
do,
only...
I do have to say, I do have to credit the city of Sarasota itself, because you were saying that a lot of places sometimes you're performing to no one. I believe you guys do have great improv, but it's a great supportive community with the art. So I think Sarasota is really
FST
good.
sells out every week that we have a
Mhm.
show. I mean, we have a summer. It's just like Crystal said, we do like a, what'd she say? Summer and a winter, whatever. Seasonal. Thank you. Thank you for helping out anybody. Yeah. And we sell out. My group in Lakeland, Improv Addicts, we get like over 80 people a show. I mean, we've got a
okay.
big following. It's blown up. I mean, in the last year, we get like 80 people, which to me, that's impressive that people are coming out to see that. I mean, like when I was in the Charming Hooligans, name drop, we used to get like, we averaged 60 to 100 people a show.
A show.
And we had kids like from 14 that grew up, and now they're in their like 30s now, but they went through college and got married and would come back to shows when they were in town and all. And that was always great.
Oh,
But
wow.
anyway, back to any other point you were saying. FloridaStudioTheater.org. And there's also there's also workshops at the FloridaStudioTheater.org on Saturday that are $29 each. There's ones by one that FST is doing. There's one by Improv Boston, which I said is great. There's one hosted by Dad's Garage from Atlanta, which is a great troupe in Atlanta. They have their own place and they do different types of shows there. They have their own little place. It's awesome. Literally looks like a garage. And then Available Cup Holders from Austin, Texas.
Their name is Available Cup Holders.
Yes. And they have Jeremy Lamb, who's like the director there, has his own improv festival there, the Out of Bounds Improv Festival in Boston, which
I've
is like
heard of
Labor
that.
Day weekend.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
I mean, he's had like Fred Willard
His
down
name
there.
is Jeremy Sweetman.
Oh, now. Okay. He had his
Jeremy
name
Sweetman.
literally changed because his wife and him combined names and whatever.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. And he was like a little artistic director for us at Florida Studio Theater last winter after the improv festival. He stayed down like through the winter.
Oh,
Great person. Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, there's great groups there.
Awesome because he opened up our show to different formats. It was really great. We had a little bit of long form and some just desserts where it was more of a competition, and it was just really fun to play in a different format.
okay.
And with Jeremy.
Yeah, we did a holiday show.
A holiday show.
Like what can go wrong doing a holiday play, which was great. We had no scripts, but we actually held scripts, but they were totally empty, etc.
Well, Christine, thank you very much for coming on. Is there anything that you want to plug? Your websites, your production company, anything you have coming down the pike? It sounds like you're going to have a busy weekend.
Yeah, just one thing. It's called Seratopia. It's a new comedy, or not comedy, a sitcom based in Sarasota, and we kind of make fun of Sarasota, and it's just really funny, and a new episode came out tonight, so Seratopia.com. And, of course, my website, ChristineAlexander.net. Please, and thank you.
Yeah, a lot of us are in
That was
Seratopia,
lovely. Thank you
too.
so much, you guys.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you for coming on, Christine.
Thank you. Love you, too. Bye.
That was for you. Yeah, Christine and Crystal are two great women. And I love the heck out of them, and they're just super people. Two of the best people I ever met, and I'm not improvising that.
I think they're off the air. They don't
I don't
care.
know, but still, it's on record somewhere. Anyway.
My mom and two uncles just watched that.
Go to those websites.
No, actually, I've never met Christine, but like I know I know the same circles and the same
I knew
people.
her before I knew her. Like like you're saying,
Like if I ever meet her, like we know a lot of people.
Right.
We can gossip, and we are going to gossip about you people. So tell me, God.
Sorry, you're not supposed to whisper.
And then you guess what happened?
And then they went to a phone booth.
Speaking of improv, since it is, my good friend Charlotte Cakes wants me to plug, Got Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Got what? Got Jokes.
Got Jokes. They have a show tomorrow, I believe, right?
Tampa Improv, 8 p.m. Funny people getting stupid. From my buddy Charlotte Cakes. She was over here. So if you guys are
not like 2 minutes ago or
a long time ago, like 2 weeks ago.
Thank you. Shaking like a bunny.
Shaking like a bunny.
Yeah.
But yes, so there's lots of improv
I'm dancing
in
and I can't see my legs.
In the Sarasota, in also
the Tampa Bay area, yeah.
In Lakeland too. I wanted to touch on that a little bit in a gentle non kind of way. We have a mutual friend, Dean Berkey.
Yeah, Dean.
Yes.
Dean will be doing stand-up Thursday, too, at the venue in Bartow.
He's dabbled in stand-up.
Something 293 Main Street. He actually, we did a show. We perform every first Friday in Lakeland. They have like a big First Friday event, and we always perform usually at Lakeland Community Theater off of beautiful Lake Mirror.
Is that lake reflective?
I don't know. It's not a pretty lake. I'm sorry. Lakeland, clean up your lakes. But yeah, we had a show, and we kind of got moved out of where we usually are at Lakeland Community Theater, and we had a scramble for a show, and we performed the show, and we had like a guy wanted us to do a 2-hour show, so we had Dean do like 20 minutes of stand-up, did a great job, and then we did a rockin' show, like I said, over 80 people. Like,
wow.
It's like a following. It's like a cult. Can I say cult on the radio? Yeah,
cult,
I guess so.
Now, cult with a U or cult with an O? Not like a little baby
like a 45,
horse.
Colt 45, like Billy D. Williams, Colt 45.
I thought you meant like a brand new baby horse trying to get up.
No, not that. Like a cult following, like a David Koresh or Jim Jones. Or
people who...
You get the drift. The movie with, what's her name on it? Never mind. Christy McNichol. That's it. And her brother was in it. There wasn't a cult movie. Great movie.
Okay,
Go home now, and you will never probably be able to find it.
They are home, probably. I would imagine.
Mom, 2 uncles.
Well, that sounds like... Oh, no. I think that cult movie was... wasn't it called The Wave? And it was an after-school special?
That is it.
It was
that is
after-school
it.
special?
I have no idea. But I've seen it.
You talked about Bartow, and I don't want to, drop my fanciness, but several times I have parked in the Walmart of Bartow and left the car there.
We're nowhere near the Walmart, so folks, don't worry. You can't worry about it. Yeah, we're nowhere near.
No, I have a friend in Sarasota.
Some kind of thing.
Okay, we only have 2 more minutes, so I'm not going to tell my exciting Walmart Bartow story.
Thank you. 3 minutes. You're supposed to do that like in theater.
Oh, see?
Anyway, FloridaStudioTheater.org, Improv Festival, the 20th and 21st, Dear Aunt Gertrude, the Summer Games, and the list. This Friday, the 13th. Ooh, Friday the 13th. You got to go to that. Next Friday, the 20th, and Friday the 27th, show at 8 p.m. and 9:30. The Box Theater, 1300 East 7th Avenue, Tampa, 33605. Just in case you want a zip code. And the list at 9:30. Same dates. And also August 19th, which is a Sunday at American Stage in beautiful St. Petersburg. They have a weekend series there on Sundays.
I
yes.
actually performed the weekend series one time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with the Funny Diva troupe.
Oh.
Yeah, but we
I
were
wasn't-
stand up.
Yeah, stand up. And FloridaStudioTheater.org. And Improv Addicts, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and all that good stuff. All those groups and names and everything. Follow them on Twitter.
You have to pick
and
up all your
Facebook.
paper when you leave.
I
That's
know.
all I'm saying.
I know. Everything.
Now,
Sweep up.
do you have anything specifically for you? Like how do we get to know you, Daryl?
I'm
Through
on
the
Facebook, but whatever, friend request or whatever, just like my troops. That's all that matters. And come support live improv and live theater and
Or live comedy
stand-up.
in general.
Yeah, live comedy in
Live
general.
comedy.
Live anything.
What are you
People
gonna-
get out.
Yeah.
Get out of your house.
What are you going to do? Watch the Kardashians? They're terrible. You could see this funny guy in person.
Yeah. No tape for me, if you know what I mean. Yet. But unks and
Fingers
on
crossed.
yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Here's early. Here's early.
Well, I think we gotta wrap it up, my friend. Thank you so much for coming out.
Well, thank you, Robin.
You
It's been
are
a blast.
you are fun to be a co-host with because I never have to worry about like, oh, what do I say next? Because you've already been talking for
Yeah,
5
she
minutes.
said she took notes. I didn't see her look at any notes at any time, people.
They're up here.
Yes. Florida Theater, FloridaStudioTheater.org, Improv Festival, 20th,
Okay.
21st.
Okay, do we have people in the booth?
I don't know. Nobody's there. Keep talking. Just keep talking. We got an hour left.
Now this is our bantering.
Yeah.
Bantering. So do you like the thumb wrestle?
I don't. I had a baby horse, a colt, if you will, callback, that was eating a pork chop. And he threw me off as a little kid and stepped on my thumb. So I don't really like horses. So I don't.
Well, he shouldn't be eating pork chops. I think they're only like grain fed.
Well, this was in like 1974. I was like 5 years old. Oh my God, they can figure out my age. Oh no. Yeah, I don't know. Are we still on, or how do you know?
Okay, yeah, we were given the hurry up.
Yeah.
You've only got a couple
And we
minutes.
started late too.
I know. Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Daryl, if you could be an oak tree, what would you be?
Oak tree? If I could be an
I'm
oak tree,
trying
I
to
would
ask-
be an oak tree. Robin, you mean if I could be any type of tree? I'd still be an oak tree.
I want to make you cry. If
You wanna
they're
make
not
me
in the
cry?
booth, let's just
I don't-
have the Barbara Walters interview.
She's beating me up in here. No? Yeah. Are we done? Or what?
I guess.
Let's just keep talking.
That's what
Find more
I'm saying.
questions.
That's what I'm saying. See, because I don't know why, like the frantic numbers, like hey, wrap it
Yeah.
up, and then they're.
That's a tiny window to like see.
Do you think that maybe someone
You
got
should probably be sitting
hijacked?
over here and looking.
See,
Let's just walk off the air.
we are so mad right now.
We were like Chris Rock on the radio.
Oh no, I love that guy. I do.
Oh, I like Chris Rock too.
That's my boo.
That's your boo.
Except he doesn't know what.
Boo means, or you.
No, he doesn't know that I'm weirdly obsessed with him. But that's
Oh,
probably.
You looked down. I was like, with child? This is Chris Rock's child.
I've been carrying it for almost 43 years
Yes.
now.
Chris Rock, my baby. That's not a Chris Rock impersonation. Right?
Yeah, Chris
Maybe.
Rock got himself in trouble over a tweet.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but
That's a first. That's
he's
first
usually
time that's
very
ever
politically
happened.
correct.
Oh,
He's usually very politically correct. So
I did see his latest movie, the whatever, What to Expect When You're Expecting. Can I name drop movies? And I thought he
We
was like
could-
in it a lot, but he wasn't. We're not even on. So.
yeah. I was gonna say I've said this before. We could sacrifice a goat. It's the internet. Like
I
it's
didn't-
not really regulated.
I do want to say I didn't know whether to look at your computer, because there's things scrolling up here, or look up there, or just look. I'm just gonna do a
Hey,
whole show.
my eyes are here, Mister.
Like, you count the blinds every time. There's like, what, 8? No, maybe 9.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
do we have anyone
nobody
in
in
the
there.
booth? Okay. All righty. It's like they left the
Who done
keys to the station
Castle,
wagon and we just really want to go home and
Oh,
stop
no,
driving the
my
station
nose.
wagon.
Oh no, my nose. That wasn't that episode.
Okay. No,
Remember the Brady Bunch episode where they drove to the egg? You remember that? Speaking about cars, they had like a contest, Greg and Marsha, where whoever could drive to the egg without knocking it over.
I have a 6-year-old.
This is riveting.
It is. I have a 6-year-old daughter, and she loves the Brady Bunch, and she's watched it so much. I kind of remember that I don't like the Brady Bunch.
Oh, well, you used to have your joke about Jan, right, Brady? Or maybe you still do. I don't know. Somebody hasn't seen her in a while. I'm busy. I'm in 4 improv groups. This week alone, the rest of this week, improv.
Okay.
Next week, same thing, at least Wednesday through Saturday improv.
Now you're having an improv at this Friday, the Friday the 13th. Are you going to make it spooky? Is there any indication?
I don't know.
For that?
It's improv, so who knows? If we get suggestions that are spooky, maybe.
So, like, if someone in the audience said, "Hey, it's Friday the 13th, make it spooky," that would be some spooky improv.
I'd be like, "That we didn't ask you anything, so sit down, get out, right now, get out of here,
get out of my studio."
Yes, the box, box.tampaunderground.com, 1300 7th Ave North. Oh, she's back.
Okay, do you want us to wrap it up? All right.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Narcolepsy, it's a problem.
As we just have sweat just shooting down our brow. Okay. Well, thank you very much for tuning in to the Quirky Bird Show. And thank you, my friend, for being
here. Thank you, Robin. And, just hold this like the Naked Gun.
We will be next week with some, I'm just going to call them surprises, guests, because there's a few people I haven't actually... So, we will be back next week, and tune in, same time, same bat channel, hilarious laughter at the quirkybird.com. The Arts Radio. Wah, wah, wah. Thank you.
Acres.